Oh. Oh. Okay. Ah! Oh. Hey, I'm trying to get crunk. C-R-U-N-K.
Tell them how we gonna go. Tell them why they don't hold on. Tell them why they better run.
Stand up and get crunk.
It's your boy back with my Week 7 NFL predictions and, of course, some fantasy football nuggets. 13-1 last week. I will definitely take it, but Jets cost me a perfect week, losing to the Bills Monday night. It's all good. But we got some good games coming up, including a rematch of our Super Bowl from last year. Those Chiefs and Niners, right? We'll talk about it. Got some other good games to talk about, some tough games to call. So with no further ado, let's get into this, starting with our Thursday night game. The 3-3 Denver Broncos coming off a loss to those division rivals, the Chargers, hitting the road to New Orleans to play these 2-4 Saints, coming off a division loss to their rivals, those Bucks. Tell you what, Spencer Rattler, not too bad for your first NFL start. 246 yards passing, threw a touchdown, but you also threw 2 picks. It's all good. We've seen worse games, right? But you're going to have to do this without Rashid Shaheed. Looks like he's going to have possibly season-ending knee surgery. Dan Olave in concussion protocol. Now, you do have the number 1 fantasy running back in Alvin Kamara, but you can't do it by itself. So I think the return of Sean Payton to the arena, I tell you what, should they boo him? I don't think so. He did get the city a ring, right? Bo Nix playing better ball, threw for over 200 yards, I think 216 of them. 2 touchdowns, but also threw a pick. He's getting better. They got to run that ball better with Javonte Williams. Come on, guy. You were supposed to be the one to really break out this year. It's not happening right now. And then Cortland Sutton, yeah, you caught a touchdown last week, but you're supposed to be Bo Nix's main target, and you're not. Luckily, you have the number 4 defense overall, number 5 against the pass, but that's because y'all have Patrick Surtain, who will not be playing in this game. So, whoo! I still think Denver's going to have enough to get past this second start of Mr. Rattler over there. I think they're going to get it done on the road. Final score, 21-17. Sean Payton gets a comeback win. In our early morning game in London at 9:30, got the 1-5 New England Patriots coming off a loss to those Texans, going against these 1-5 Jacksonville Jaguars, coming off a loss to those Bears in London. This time they're the home team. I bet London thinks we're just sending our trash teams out there, but hey, you got football. Be happy about that. Drake May, not a bad stat line. 240 plus yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's worth looking at on the waiver wire, especially during these bye weeks, right? They can't run the ball. Antonio Gibbs, 13 carries, 19 yards. Man, I can do that. Well, Ramondre Stevenson, clearly the better back, but he's been dealing with injuries. I tell you, who you might want to look at on the waiver wire, other than Hunter Henry, Demario Douglas, 6 catches, 90 plus yards, and a touchdown. He's been Drake May's number 1 target in these 2 games that he started. Who knows? Trevor Lawrence, can he get it done? Sitting at 1-5, looking for his second win. We expected more from this team. Not a bad stat line. Over 230 plus yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Tank Bigsby's going to be the man. Travis Etienne dealing with a hamstring injury, of course. And how about Gabe Davis? He caught 2 touchdowns. The man he welcomed back is Evan Ingram. 10 catches, over 100 yards. No touchdowns this week, but you got to love it if you're an Evan Ingram owner in fantasy football. Second worst defense in football, these Jaguars, but wouldn't matter. I don't think the Patriots are going to do much. I think Jacksonville's going to get it done in London. Final score, 24-17. Back to the States we come. Game of the week, 1A. This is how you kick off those 1 o'clock games. 4-1 Detroit Lions coming off a victory over those Cowboys last week, putting up 47 points on those boys. Now they're hitting the road to Minnesota to take on this 5-0 Vikings team coming off a bye week. They had 2 weeks to prepare for this Detroit team. It's going to be a good game, y'all. Jared Goff, he's been passing that ball nicely this year. Very efficient. 315 yards last week, 3 touchdowns, 3 different receivers. Amon-Ra St. Brown, you get a touchdown. Jameson Williams, you get a touchdown. Sam Laporta, you get a touchdown. Best backfield in football, in my opinion, with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. David, 80 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Nice game. But they're going to have to do this without the superstar defensive end, Aiden Hutchinson. Came into the game leading the league in sacks, possibly the defensive player of the year, broken fibula. I was going to put the video up. It's too gruesome to show again. Go pull it up if you want to see it. Sam Darnold. He's been playing some ball this year as well. Of course, his team is 5-0. Moving that ball around. Jordan Addison's having a good year. Justin Jefferson, not the years we saw with Kirk Cousins, but hey, he'll take a championship over stats, I hope. And then they went out and got Aaron Jones. He's looking very good if he can stay healthy. What is this team going to do when they get T.J. Hockenson back? My gosh. And then the defense before their bye week with #1 in fantasy football. This team is real, y'all, in all phases. Because of the bye week, because they're at home, and you know I picked Detroit to win it all, just not this week. I think Minnesota's going to get it done. Final score, 28-24, and a very good game. Vikings. Got the 1-4 Tennessee Titans coming off a loss of those Colts. Hitting the road to Buffalo to take on this 4-2 Bills team. Coming off a victory over those Jets. And costing me my perfect week. It's all good. Will Levis, he threw for 95 total yards last week. Calvin Ridley, 0 receptions. They brought this guy in to be the #1 weapon. What was it, 96 million or something like that? They do have Tony Pollard, who rushed the ball 17 times, over 90 yards and a touchdown. Thank God he's been consistent all year. Keep it up. I need that in my fantasy leagues. You can't blame the defense. #1 overall, #1 against the pass, #7 against the run. Doesn't matter if you can't score points, right? While Buffalo, they handed that ball off to Ray Davis. 20 carries, 97 yards, no touchdowns, but he took advantage of his opportunity. Still, it was the Josh Allen show, but he threw for 215, 2 touchdowns, ran the ball 9 times, doing what he does. Now they went out and traded for Amari Cooper, finally a #1 receiver since they lost Stephon Diggs. Almost dropped him. I'm glad I held on to him. I hope you did. Dalton Kincaid, he had 6 catches for 50-something yards, 51, I think, 11 points. They're going to get a lot better, in my opinion, when you have someone on the outside like a Amari Cooper. So I think Buffalo's going to keep it going. They're going to get that 5th win of the week. Final score, 24-14, the Bills. We got the 2-3 Miami Dolphins coming off a bye week, giving them 2 weeks to prepare for this game. Hitting the road to Indianapolis to take on these 3-3 Colts, led by old man Joe Flacco when he went to Tennessee and gave them boys an L. But now they're about to make a quarterback switch. Just like with Pittsburgh, I don't agree with this. I'm riding the coattails of old man Joe. But back comes Anthony Richardson. Hopefully back comes Jonathan Taylor. Trey Sermon was horrible. He had 18 carries for 29 yards. Wow. Got to get that running game back. Michael Pittman, 3 catches. Yeah, he caught a touchdown, but he's been Mr. Unreliable this year. Matter of fact, Josh Downs has been the one you might want to pick up. 7 catches, also got a touchdown. Don't think it's going to be enough in this one because Miami had a bye week. Mr. Huntley's going to start once again. He's going to have both Mostert and a chain in that backfield, and that's a nice 1-2 punch. Not too bad on the outsides with those 2 wide receivers. Of course, Tyreek Hill and Mr. Waddle. I think they're going to force the ball to Tyreek. This could be the week where he gets 10 catches, I hope. Tough game to call right here. Again, if it wasn't for the bye week, it would have been all over the Colts. But nah, I think Miami's going to find a way to get this done on the road. Final score in a low-scoring game, 17-14 Dolphins. Got the Geno Smith-led Seattle Seahawks sitting on their 3-3 record, coming off a loss to those 49ers, hitting the ATL. Play those 4-2 Falcons led by Kirk Cousins, coming off a victory over those Panthers. Very hot team right now, while Seattle's going in the wrong direction. They do have the #1 offense in all of football. But what did DK say? Trade me, diva. That's why I stayed away from him in fantasy football. We'll see what he does for the rest of the year. And if you got him, you might want to trade him, right? Kenneth Walker, what did he have? 13, 14 carries for 32 yards. He did get a touchdown. Thank God for those 8 catches out the backfield for 37 yards to salvage his fantasy day. But overall, I'm not liking this Seattle team right now. Definitely not over Atlanta, traveling on the road, because Kirk Cousins still doing his thing. Threw for over 200-plus yards, got a touchdown, no interceptions. Algier, he had, 18 carries for 105 yards or something like that. Bijan got his totes, 13, 14 of them with 95 yards and a touchdown. No, he had 2 touchdowns. They got Kyle Pitts involved. He had 3 catches for 70 yards. They're doing their thing. I think this team is going to make a mad push, not just to make the playoffs, but go after that Lombardi. I think they have a team that's good enough to do that. They do have the #5 offense in all of football, matter of fact. So we'll see how this goes. Drake London, #5 receiver in fantasy football. Where did that come from? I think they're going to get it done at home against the Seahawks. Final score, 28-17 Falcons. Whew, this is going to be a good game right here. 5-1 Houston Texans coming off a victory over those Patriots, hitting the road to Green Bay to take on these 4-2 Packers, coming off a victory over those Cardinals. C.J. Stroud's been balling all year. He has the 5th-ranked offense in the NFL, 4th passing the rock. Threw for just under 200 yards last week, 3 touchdowns. Did it without Nico Collins, still dealing with that hamstring. So Stephon Diggs, he stepped into that lead role nicely. What he catch for 70 yards, got him a touchdown. Even Tank Dell got in the mix. The Robin to the Batman, he caught him a touchdown. But welcome back, Joe Mixon. Only took 13 carries to break 100 yards. He got him a touch. Welcome back, Dameon Pierce. Broke 70 yards rushing. Also got a touch. This team is real deal. Can they get it done in Green Bay? Jordan Love sitting on the 3rd-ranked offense in the NFL. 8th passing the rock. 2 rushing the rock with Josh Jacobs. Got 18 carries. Didn't do all that much on the ground. But that's okay, because Jordan Love threw for 4 touchdowns. 2 to Romeo Doubs. Christian Watson got 1 of those. But Jayden Reed, he's been balling all year. Currently, the #5 ranked wide receiver in fantasy football. He got him a touchdown, of course. Then we can't forget about Tucker Kraft, the 5th ranked tight end in football. They got weapons everywhere. They got a good defense. So does the Texans. Just going to be a good game. If it was in Houston, I'll root for Houston. But this is in Green Bay. I think they're going to pull it out in a very close game. Final score, 28-24, the Packers. In a division game, we got the 2-4 Cincinnati Bengals coming off a victory over those Giants, hitting the road to Cleveland to play these 1-5 Browns, coming off a loss to those Eagles. Deshaun Watson and company, they've been playing bad. Can he hold on to his job even through this game? I don't think so. I think Jameis Winston will be coming in at some point. They've already traded Amari Cooper to the Bills, giving Josh Allen a #1 target, opening up the door for Jerry Jeudy to be the #1 guy in Cleveland. And then welcome back, guess who? Nick Chubb. At one time, the best running back in football before that devastating knee injury. I'm sure y'all all saw it. Hopefully he resembles his old self at some point this year. Maybe not this first game, but at least give him the ball at the goal line, right? While on the other side of the ball, they've been balling ever since T. Higgins came back. I mean, Joe Burrow, #4 ranked quarterback in fantasy football. How about Jamar Chase? Now, he dropped the slot, but he's still the number 2 wide receiver in fantasy football. Joe Burrow, Joe Cool feeling good. A nice little scramble he had for a touchdown. He still got some wheels on him. I think Cincinnati's going to get this done on the road because Cleveland is pathetic. Final score, 24-14 Bengals. Saquon Barkley and his 3-2 Philadelphia Eagles coming off a victory over those Browns, barely, even after a bye week. Hitting the road, back to MetLife you go, Saquon, for the first time. Back to the team that drafted you, this 2-4 New York Giants, coming off a loss to those Bengals. Could only put up 7 points. It's not going to get it done. Daniel Jones, I mean, you was efficient. You threw just over 200 yards, ran the ball 11 times, but no touchdowns. Darius Slayton tried to get involved, where he had 6 catches for 50. Then Wan'Dale Robinson, where he had 5 for 50, but no touchdowns. Welcome back Malik Neighbors, who was balling before he got hurt. What was he, the number 1 fantasy wide receiver at that point? Is this going to be enough to get it done? They tried to call on Tyrone, but Tyrone Tracy couldn't get it done like he did last week. He still got you 20 points in fantasy. Hopefully he'll continue to get that rock because he's running the ball well, actually. Don't think it's going to be enough. They're going to feed Saquon a lot in this game. Welcome back, A.J. Brown. But he had 6 catches for 110-plus yards and a touchdown. Devontae Smith, man, undercover, he's a good-ass football player, man. To be that small, but he's quick. He can get up. He can do his thing. Caught him a touchdown. Have to do it without Dallas Goedert. He's dealing with a hamstring, so I'm expecting 3 to 4 weeks he'll be out. Jalen Hurts, but he had 14 carries in this one. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. 260-plus yards, 2 touchdowns. Too much on that side of the ball for the Giants. Yeah, they play each other twice a year. Yeah, it's a division game. Yeah, they're on the road. Don't matter. Eagles taking this one on the road. Final score, 24-17 Eagles. Kicking off the 4 o'clock games, we got my 2-4 Las Vegas Raiders coming off a loss to those Steelers last week, hitting the road to L.A. to take on these 1-4 Rams, coming off a bye week, giving Sean McVay 2 weeks to prepare for this game. Normally that doesn't bode well when you're the home team and you had a bye week. We shall see. Kyren Williams, the number 3 ranked running back in fantasy football. I do like that part. Will you get Cooper Kupp back? We shall see. Hopefully not this week. Sitting on the 28th ranked defense, 14th ranked offense. Of course, that was all before you buy. The Raiders, we do have a defense, number 12 in the league. We do have the number 2 tight end in fantasy football in Brock Bowers. Can Jacoby Myers step up and take over that number 1 wide receiver role for Aiden O'Connell? That means Trey Tucker got to step up. 0 receptions last week. That's not going to get it. Congratulations to Tom Brady. It's official. Part owner of the Raiders. Yeah, we know it was a fumble. Do we have what it takes to get past these Rams this week? Can Aiden O'Connell step up and be that dude? Hopefully. Can we run the ball, please? I mean, we got a lot of things we need to get done here, but I think we will. I think the Raiders are going to take this one on the road. Final score, 21-17 Raiders. Got the 1-5 Carolina Panthers coming off a loss to those Falcons, hitting the road to Washington to take on these 4-2 Commanders, led by Jaden Daniels, coming off a loss to those Ravens. That was a good game, though. Carolina, up and down, up and down. Chuba Hubbard has been a bright spot. Matter of fact, the number 5 ranked running back in all of fantasy football. Deontay Johnson had a good game as well. He got him a touchdown. Can Andy Dalton find that magic again to get past these Commanders? No. Not with that 28th ranked defense. And here comes Mr. Daniels. Come on now. Upset about that loss last week, I'm sure. He could be quarterback 1 in fantasy this year. Excuse me, not this year, this week. What do you have? 200-plus yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks against a tough Ravens defense. He could be getting Brian Robinson Jr. back this week. Eckler didn't have the kind of game I was hoping for. No touchdowns, not rushing or receiving. But Scary Terry, he did his thing, 2 touchdowns. I think this Washington team is going to get back on track. This is the easy pick of the week. Final score, 28-17. Commanders get that 5th W. Super Bowl rematch, game of the week, 1B. Got the 5-0 Kansas City Chiefs coming off a bye week, giving Andy Reid 2 weeks to prepare for this game. Mr. Kool-Aid, damn, I got thirsty just now. Hitting the road to San Francisco to take on these 3-3 49ers, coming off a victory over those Seahawks. Kansas City do have the number 4 ranked defense. Number 9 against the pass, number 4 against the run. They still have Travis Kelce, probably the best tight end that ever played the game. They lost Rashee Rice for the year, but Juju stepped up before the bye week, and they do have Xavier Worthy. I can't wait to see how they implement him after coming off a bye week. Got to give the ball to Kareem Hunt a lot to pound this San Francisco front. We'll see if they do that. San Fran, on the other hand, Brock Purdy balled, threw for over 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. They do have the number 2 ranked offense, number 2 pass offense, number 3 rush offense. Will Jordan Mason be playing in this game? He's been dealing with injury. He's a tough guy right there. I was hoping Christian McCaffrey would be available for this one. Damn, he's not. Debo only took 3 catches to break 100 yards. Got him a touchdown. And then Kittles, number 1 ranked fantasy tight end in all of football. He caught him 2 touchdowns. That's a lot to handle, Kansas City in San Francisco. Yeah, they're upset what you did to them in my stadium. I'm upset about it. You're going to lose this one. Final score, 28-24, Niners. In our Sunday night game, we had the 2-4 New York Jets coming off a loss to those Bills, costing me my perfect week. All right, I'm done about that. Heading to Pittsburgh to take on these 4-2 Steelers, coming off a victory over my Raiders in Vegas. It's all good. But now y'all want to sit Justin Fields and bring in Russell Wilson. Not your best move, Mike Tomlin. You know it takes players 2 or 3 weeks to get their feet under them, get that rust off. You want to throw him against the number 5 ranked defense with the Jets. Probably the best corner in football, Sauce Gardner. Najee Harris was able to get you 100 yards last week and a touchdown. Not going to try to pound that rock. You do have the number 6 ranked defense against the run, but you get a lot of yards. Y'all give up a lot of yards in the pass game. And the Jets just got a new weapon. Aaron Rodgers got his booty buddy back. Yeah, Devontae Adams is over there. We traded him for a 3rd round pick. Hopefully to become a 2nd. So throw him the ball a lot against this Steelers defense. I mean, he got off the plane, went straight to your house. Y'all's probably throwing passes in your backyard. And I'm sure he's going to play. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good game to watch. Breece Hall rushed for over 100 yards last week. That's going to be a tough call against this Steelers front. Can Wilson get it done again? Garrett did get 100 yards and a touchdown, and so did Lazard. He got him 100 yards and a touchdown. So Aaron has weapons. He got his main guy back. Should be fun to watch. I think they're going to get it done against this Steelers team. Mike Tomlin's going to look like a fool for sitting Justin Fields for this one. Final score, 24-21. Jets get it done on the road. In our first of 2 Monday night games and another must-watch in Week 7. Man, 4-2 Baltimore Ravens coming off a victory over those Commanders in a very good game of its own. Hitting the road to take on those 4-2 Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield and company beat the brakes off of those Saints. Number 2 ranked quarterback in all of fantasy football. He threw for over 320-plus yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. It's all good. How about Sean Tucker? Rushed for over 100 yards, got him a touchdown. Him and Bucky Irvin, who also got a touchdown. Man, Chris Godwin is the number 1 receiver in all of fantasy football. He balled over 100 yards plus a touch. They balling on that offensive side, but is that enough against this Baltimore team? Sitting at number 1 total offense, number 1 rush offense, number 7 pass offense. Got the number 1 quarterback in all of fantasy football, Lamar Jackson. He's the #1 player in all of fantasy football. Then you still got the #2 rusher in all of fantasy, and of course, Derrick Henry. Too much for this Bucks defense. They balled last week. Zay Flowers, what do you have, 130-something receiving yards, something like that, and a touchdown. Then, of course, we already mentioned Derrick Henry, who just happened to go for 130-plus rushing and 2 touchdowns. He's doing this every week now. They're closing with this guy. Lamar Jackson, he'll rush for 11 times. What do you do? What do you do against this team right now? To me, they're playing the best football I've seen them play in the last 3-4 years under Lamar Jackson. So I think they're going to get it done on the road in Tampa. Final score, 28-21. They're moving on. In our second Monday night game, we have the 3-2 LA Chargers coming off a victory over those Broncos, hitting the road to Arizona to take on these 2-4 Cardinals. After suffering a loss at the hands of the Packers, they beat the brakes off them boys. I expected more from Kyler Murray and company this year. I mean, James Conner laid an egg last week. Marvin Harrison Jr. is not playing like we thought he would, being that beast that we thought he was going to be. I mean, yeah, he's dealing with a concussion. He's probably not going to play in this game, but 0 catches before that happened. The only bright spot has been Trey McBride, where he had 8 catches, just missed 100 yards. And they're not going to get it done against this defense on the other side of the ball, coming in with the 4th-ranked defense. They're good against the pass. They're good against the run. I mean, Herbert threw for over 200 yards. I think it was 236, something like that. Threw for a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins has been that piece that I'm loving. Luckily, I picked him up in 3 or 4 leagues. He's staying healthy. He's running that rock. Just missed 100 yards. I think he had 96 and a touchdown. That rookie McConkey, they're getting him the ball. He had 4 catches. He looks good when he gets the ball. They need some more pieces, some more weapons to really make noise, but I think they have enough to get it done in this game against this Arizona team. Final score, 21-17. Chargers take the victory on the road. There you have it. My picks are in final, as well as my bets. Hopefully, I'll have a good week 7 like I did week 6. We shall see, right? Meet me back here on Wednesday. Well, I'll drop my week 7 results and drop my week 8 picks going into the next week. So until then, peace.